is going on, guys? Welcome back. And I try this again here. Take a look at the Chiefs game. This is going to be a primetime game, week 4. Chiefs 4-0, Colts 2-2. We're going to do the full play on this. Go back through and take a look at exactly how we handle, I guess, the cover team, if you will, of Madden 20. At the preview screen, the Chiefs are an 81 overall. Mahomes, Kelsey, Schwartz. The Colts are 80 overall with Luck, Hilton, and Darius Leonard. So as I talked about, the load screens, seemingly a little shorter this year. I don't know why this game takes so long to load, but it has for a very long time. My game goals here are going to be 3 passing touchdowns, 4 sacks, hold the quarterback to 250 yards. QB comparison, Mahomes on the season, 83 of 116 with 1,480 yards. Couldn't see how many touchdowns. Hilton and Hill get the draw for the wide receiver comparison, and then it closes itself out with the defensive ends, Justin Houston and Frank Clark. And I guess we should get one more, probably get a tight end comparison, I suppose, right? Nope, we didn't. So, okay. I thought maybe we'd get Kelsey and I guess Jack Doyle, but maybe not. Maybe they put Ebron in there. I don't know. They actually have Ebron higher or lower on the depth chart. That's why I asked. So I'm going to go through and skip through the presentation already, which should tell you all you need to know about whatever they may or may not have added. Going to get the ball here in the beginning. Naheem Hines back, catches the ball at the 5-yard line, goes up to the 10, the 20, the 30, breaks in the middle field, and gets out to the 35-yard line. Could have broke that, actually. I'm surprised that he didn't, but nevertheless. Weekly game boosts here. Offense is going to get a boost when calling stick plays. Defense when calling cover 2. First suggestion here, if you didn't watch the first one, I'm kind of going by the coaching suggestions. 10th career touchdown is the milestone for Jack Doyle. It's telling me to run a curl combo, so we'll go ahead and give that a shot. Defense comes out really close to the line of scrimmage, leaves Mo Alley Cox, I believe. Yes, Mo Alley Cox wide open in the middle of the field. He is going to get down to just about the 40, they're going to call it the 43-yard line. So we're going to run an inside zone here. If you didn't listen to the first one, you don't know, but I have a backup halfback in terms of Spencer Ware, as we lost Marlon Mack in the preseason. Secondarily, I had to go out and sign LeGarrette Blount to back him up. So we're going to get a run here, break to the outside. Defensive end does a good job at collapsing over, but I get into the open field and I get about 9 yards, okay? So it's calling for a halfback base here. It's actually able to cut that run back rather nicely, actually, like what happened there, but it's at the detriment of the blocking. Spencer Ware is going to get the ball here, go to the outside, try a spin move, but I don't get the animation. Barry, or whoever, it's not Barry, I'm not sure who their safety is this year. Number 29 comes down, makes the tackle. It's kind of showing like a bubble screen here, so I'm going to go ahead and drop back and do that, get it out to Ebron. The pass is super delayed because the animation was just not there. It's Fuller there that was over on the tackle to make Eric Ebron stop 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that was a very unsuccessful play, only because the animation took so long. By the time I got it out, the whole defense really was able to converge. So we're kind of running another slants play here. Ebron gets a lot of motion. I can't believe that wouldn't get caught. Ebron gets a lot of motion before the play actually starts, gets over to the right-hand side. Fuller makes the tackle again, but Fuller actually, in a very good-looking animation, holds his hip after he makes the tackle when he's down on the ground, and it appears that he is hurt, and he's limping off the field with no helmet. So perhaps that's going to be a blow to their secondary here. We are going to come out here 3rd and 7 on our opening drive. Spencer Ware is going to get a halfback draw, try to follow lead blockers, and he is going to get stopped a yard short of the first down marker. Kind of got lost steering him around there, trying to follow some blocks that were not set up as nice as they could have been. It's Lee making the tackle, sets up a 38-yard field goal attempt for Adam Vinatieri, who is going to come out and make quick work of this and put the first points on the board for the Colts with just over 3 minutes left in the first half. So we will go ahead, first quarter. We will go ahead and kick the ball back to the Chiefs. Vinatieri again handling the kickoff and field goal duties, not as he would in real life. This ball sails well out of the end. Nope, actually doesn't go out of the end zone. It hits instead, just like it did in the first game. It hits the cross beam and bounces straight up in the air. So we get the Sunday primetime logo, Pat Mahomes, 1,048 yards, 12 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season. They show him kind of spinning the ball around, and then he will lead the Chiefs offense out on the field. I'm trying to see who came out in that cutscene because those players didn't look familiar. But needless to say, they come out, shotgun formation, 3 receivers, including, if you want to count Kelce as a receiver, on the right-hand side. They do a draw. Williams tries to go up the middle, but does not have any room within the seam and is quickly tackled. I'd be surprised if he gained more than 2 there, and they're going to credit him with a gain of 1. So defensively, it's telling me to run a cover 6. Mahomes comes out in a bunch formation here with Kelce actually on the line. They do another run play where Darius Leonard meets Williams pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Williams is kind of able to use his momentum to slide sideways just a bit. We take a look at the offensive line for the Chiefs, and that is going to set them up with a 3rd and 7. I'm going to run a cover 1 linebacker blitz. They come out again, single back formation, bunched to the right side. And I'm going to control Justin Houston here and try to keep containment. Kelce is going to be wide open. I can't believe that he didn't get him. Instead, he goes to the other side, gets the tight end number 88, who gets barely just a first down. I'm not sure who 88 is here. That's going to be Wells. So that's going to give them their first down of the game. I get a milestone for Jabal Sheard. It's going to be 1st and 10 with about 1:40 left by the time they snap it. It's going to be a play action back to Mahomes. Mahomes goes over to the play action to Damian Williams, who wasn't actually able to even get upfield. So this is going to have them back, I would say, 2nd and 11 while we go through my defensive line and secondary. Go back and take a look at where it did put him. It actually calls him 2nd and 10. Interesting because he definitely went out behind the sticks because I could see the first down marker when he went out of bounds. So they come out, again, trips to the right side. Mahomes drops back, throws underneath. Damian Williams again, getting a lot of checkdowns there. He has no room underneath to operate. He's barely getting the pass, and when he gets the pass, the defense converges. It's going to be 3rd and 9. They're going to come out with 2 receivers on the left and right. Damian Williams in the back. It's going to be another run play. At this point, I blow it up myself with Autry. Autry is going to go ahead and bring him down for a loss of 3. So they're going to call that 4th and 12. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the replay. Just basically really, really poor decision-making there. Colquitt back on to punt. This is going to be a punt coming with 40 seconds left in the first. I've got T.Y. Hilton back to return this, and T.Y. is going to be met immediately, even though in a spin move by a defender, and that is going to have us at the 15-yard line here. So it's telling me to run a play-action boot slide. I think I'm going to go with that and see if I can't get either Hilton on the draw or perhaps Doyle coming across the other way. Hilton is wide open. The linebacker doesn't make any adjustment. Hilton turns upfield right by Andy Reid, who's very close to the field. Hilton's going to get out to the 35-yard line, and I swear this is so ridiculous. Andy Reid is right there on the sidelines as this happens, and he puts his hands out and just goes right through T.Y. Hilton's body, like T.Y. wasn't even there. That absolutely looks. These sidelines, I know it's a small thing, but listen, when you're playing this game and you see things like that happen live, it's not something I would ever do like a breakdown on, but it looks absolutely horrible. Come back out. I think they're going to give us another play action. There's only 14 seconds left. They blitz. I'm going to try to feed this over to Doyle. The passing trajectories are improved because in a lot of Maddens in the past, that would have been picked. But that was really poor play by the linebacker. There's only 2 seconds left in the first quarter. I'm going to go ahead and let it run out. So I'm moving the ball at least down the field on the Chiefs here as they struggle defensively. I'm getting an RPO call from the suggestion to start the second quarter. I'm going to disregard that and run slants only because there's been so many penalties with these RPOs. I drop back. They bring another blitz. I'm going to get the ball down to Eric Ebron. There's a terrible motion shift block out of T.Y. Hilton. Ebron is able to get down to the 1-yard line. And only because rather than try to extend the ball, he did a super tight spin, like almost like a pirouette, and had a real issue getting in the end zone, which is very strange. This whole play is actually made on a motion shift by T.Y. Hilton that goes to block a safety that he was not in position to block. I believe it was, let me take a look. I'm not sure if it was a corner or if it was a safety, but we are going to go back into the replay and take a look at it real quick. So they brought pressure. I had to roll out of the pocket. I had the run on the move, or the throw on the run initiate. It sends a ball that has the line on Ebron, And the craziest thing happens as I go to turn up field, he literally starts running in place. And as he's running in place, the game just slams T.Y. Hilton so hard that the dreads on his helmet come over to the other side. It just slams T.Y. Hilton into a motion shift so that he can go pick up Sensabaugh. At that point, I've got everyone else trailing. So it's Quinn, and it's also going to be Clark over. They catch Ebron at the 1. Ebron tries to do a spin and turns it into like a toe tap and gets out at the 1. So that play should not have went for anywhere near where it went for. The last time I was down here in the goal line, generally I've seen a lot of fullback dives, and that's what it's calling for now. Eric Ebron is going to be the fullback, so they've got the line pretty stacked. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway. And sure enough, Ebron is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No animation started, so I was kind of like treading water there. We're going to go ahead and try a pass now. And I see if I can just run to the outside with Luck. Everybody bites on the play action, which they shouldn't. Luck runs into the end zone, basically untouched with no defensive reaction. The defenders there in the back of the end zone shaking their head as they walk towards Luck after he scored the touchdown. Vinatieri's going to come on and hope to make it a 10-0 game with 5 minutes left in the first half. So, too productive, I guess, really very little resistance from the Chiefs defense. We're going to go and kick the ball back to them and see if they can do anything here on their first drive of the second quarter. They get the ball at about the 25. They're going to run upfield. A little bit of glitchy physics gets him out to the 26. It's Ellington that's handling the return duties for the Chiefs. They're going to have me come out with a cover 3 press. Again, Mahomes comes out, shotgun formation, trips to the right. And again, if this is a draw, it's another draw. And it got blown up again. And you're seeing why. Damian Williams, 4 rushes, 4 yards. This is going to put them 2nd and 7 now. The game does not have a huddle, so we go right back to the same formation. They try a draw again. This time, at least he's able to get into open field because I was running a different defense. Williams, rather, gets down to the 41-yard line. When they do no huddle in this game now, it is really confusing because all you basically see is just the team throw themselves back up on the screen. So I'm literally going from play to play to play, but their formation is changing, and not only is my personnel not changing because they're running hurry up, but it's just like rapid fire football. It's absolutely, before you can really even adjust to what they're doing formation wise, they're already snapping the ball. So they've literally got the ball down right now, the 32-yard line, running this ridiculousness. Now it finally caught up to them. I actually had an opportunity to look at what was going on. They tried to force a pass to Kelsey, and it's going to be intercepted. I'm not sure exactly how it was intercepted by Moore, but I do know that the animation that played, I've seen way too much. So Mahomes is going to drop back. Kelsey is going to break to the outside, and Moore, conveniently enough, was actually trailing Hill. So Moore was not even in coverage with Kelsey, but he's underneath. Kelsey and Moore snap into a dual, team, or not really a dual team, but a dual animation where Moore high points the pass. That pass is so inaccurate. I don't know if that pass wasn't even intended for Hill. That pass may have been intended for Hill, who was running, I don't know. He couldn't have been running a curl that deep. But regardless, there's catch animations that start, and the tandem animation brings Moore down with it in a very awkward looking play where clearly in real life he would have never made that type of adjustment. So 255, I'm going to try to play a little ball control here. RPO power peak is what's given. I'm going to run it just to see if by chance we get the illegal man downfield. Luck has the X factor ability on anyway. Going to get the ball underneath to Ebron. It appears there's no penalty. I'm going to give the Chiefs a little bit of their own medicine here with the no huddle and see how this works. I'm going to run a play action dagger, which is going to be on a 2nd and 2. I'm going to try to get it underneath to Doyle, and Doyle's going to be wide open. He's going to catch the ball, but not make it too much far past the marker because I couldn't turn up field because the catch animation took too long to break. So that's going to give us 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. I'm just going to run the ball here to the right. Really good blocking, open field. Spencer Ware down to the 45-yard line, I believe. The run blocking is improved, but again, I mean, like I've said countless times, the run blocking improved that you hear a lot of people saying is less about the run blocking being better and just being more effective. So now we're going to be at the 2-minute warning. I'm at the 42-yard line. I'm going to run a draw. Spencer Ware again gets about 8 yards. I'm able to break the line of scrimmage before they can even react. And once that happens, you're pretty much going to be in trouble. So it's telling me to do another RPO. I guess I'm going to go with it. I hope Spencer Ware actually can run it, and he does. Gets out to the open field there, down to the 43-yard line. XP bonus for everyone, and I'm really not sure why. Spencer Ware now 7 yards after contact, and he's ran the ball so much more than Damian Williams. We're going to go ahead and go to a slants formation here. I get a X Factor alert that, let me see, highlights the first open receiver while in the pocket. I know that. Do not take a sack. So I guess it's just telling me I'll continue to enhance my X Factor if I don't take a sack. I run the slant. This is the same play that Eric Hebron almost scored the touchdown on. They treat it the exact same way, and the result is the exact same result. Hilton goes up, shifts into that block. The only difference, and I wish I could show this gameplay, between the first one that was not a touchdown and the second one that was, is the second time when I got caught from behind going in the end zone, rather than the tight pirouette that led to push me out of bounds, he went into a looser spin move, and when he spins, I didn't even think it was going to be a touchdown. When he spun, he actually kind of backed into the end zone, and while I figured they were going to put him down at the 1-yard line, they actually gave him the touchdown, and to be fair, I think he was down before he ever crossed the plane. Let's see if they challenge it. There's 54 seconds left, so it'd have to come from the booth. I am kicking the extra point now, and there is absolutely no challenge on the field. If we're talking about simulation football and presentation, that is absolutely a play that the Chiefs, or at least would be requesting and protesting for the refs to review, and it's close enough at home that they would have at least taken a look at it. So 54 seconds to go here. Ellington gets the ball at the 5. He elects to go upfield. He doesn't get far before he's met with a barrage of Colt tacklers. He is going to get stopped at the 23-yard line. His 20 yards per return, probably the best thing that the Chiefs have going. Mahomes is going to come back here again with a bunch to the right. He is going to go ahead and snap the ball from shotgun, and we'll see what they can do with the final 50 seconds. Way inaccurate pass. This is one of the things, just real quick, and hopefully I can parlay this into the halftime. If you have an X-Factor quarterback, it really bothers me that they can have that wildly. That pass was 4 yards inaccurate to wherever, I don't even know where it was supposed to go. So they really need to work on that. This pass here goes out to the side. It's going to be caught by Ellington. Ellington kind of does a toe tap catch in the middle of the field. We're going to run out here, 3rd and 7, 43 seconds left to go. So theoretically, if I stop them here, they run a draw. I don't stop them. And Williams got in the open field. That's the best run that Williams has had the entire day. So it's going to leave them at a 1st and 10, 38 seconds left at the 38-yard line. So theoretically, with 2 timeouts, they could put a drive together. They go back for another screen. It's blown up in the backfield, but the tackle is broken by the defensive end. I go ahead and hit stick low. He does the up over end that we usually see. He's not able to get out of bounds. Why wouldn't he have just dove? Why wouldn't he have just gotten out of bounds? Now they've run a timeout, 30 seconds to go, 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line. They come out with a bunch to the right. Mahomes has all the time in the world, throws the same pass they did before where the interception was made. This time it's complete to Hill. He'll get down to the 19-yard line. The accelerated clock comes on. Tyreek Hill is in the slot now, even though they didn't change anything. They throw the ball underneath to Travis Kelce. They threw a curl. So the rapid clock, the sped up clock gets them down to 9 seconds. They still have a timeout. They throw a curl to Kelce on the far left-hand side of the field because for some reason, all of a sudden Hill, and I didn't know that he had changed, was in the slot. When Kelce comes back on the curl, he catches the ball, doesn't try to get out of bounds, instead turns upfield. It allows them to never call the timeout because the tackle animation was so long, they could have easily scored. Any NFL team, any college team, most high school teams clock manage there and get a field goal at the end of the second quarter before halftime. In Madden, you literally have the cover athlete throwing to one of the top tight ends in the league, and neither of these two know how to handle this situation. It's incredible to me. Games around the league are shown here. it's just basically a big bland screen that shows all of the teams that played, and there's two empty rows for when there's bye weeks. So rather than just cut it off and make it even on each side, you have two just kind of hanging games there, one for your game and probably one for the teams that were on a bye. We're going back through the highlights of the Colts, because really that's about all there is, the Colt highlights of the first half. So we're going to go ahead and kick the ball off here. It is 17-0 if you're just skipping ahead 20 minutes. 17-0 to start the third quarter. The Chiefs will get the ball to start, and we'll see how they can handle coming out this time. It is going to be Ellington again fielding at the 4-yard line, gets out into the open field, but is met by 4 Colts, only one of which initiates a tackle, by the way, for those of you keeping track at home. Again, averaging 21 yards per return. He is going to get them up to the 25-yard line. Mahomes is going to come out with trips to the right-hand side, all 3 receivers in a bunch. He is going to try for another screen. It's to Ellington, who just fielded this. Ellington has 2 good moves in the open field, one on a corner, one on a linebacker, gets the ball down about 12 yards upfield to the 37-yard line. It's going to be 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Mahomes is going to drop back now, throws wide open. How did we get this wide open? We're going to have to go back and look at this because I feel like something crazy happened. So go back here. Sammy Watkins was incredibly wide open out of the slot. And sure enough, what in tarnation is Clayton Gaithers doing? Clayton Gaithers comes out. He is man coverage on Sammy Watkins. As Sammy Watkins makes his break, he follows him on the break. The ball is thrown. And for some reason, Gaithers jumps back like he's playing zone where he was just about to leave Sammy Watkins completely wide open, uncontested. He goes up in the air, high points the ball. And then the only saving grace to this is because the animation was a high point, Sammy Watkins had to go up so high to get it. By the time he landed, he couldn't turn up and bounce. So that's probably going to be one of, if not the best passing opportunities they've had to get upfield, and the animation ruined it for them. So coming back out here, again, 2 receivers to the right. Mahomes going to do another draw. If somebody could keep track of how many times I've said they've ran a draw, it seems like it's been a lot. Damian Williams now 8 rushes for 43 yards. They come out now in a 4 wide receiver set. Mahomes under center, drops back, passes underneath to Kelsey. And even though there was no pressure, he was way overthrown. So that is going to be a head scratcher. I mean, again, the X factor quarterback, the X factor tight end, I expect them to really make a difference in how I'm playing. And to be fair, they're just not doing that. This time, I will say the X factor may have kicked in. Mahomes runs forward, throws the ball on the run in the pocket, even though he didn't even need to step up, and finds Sammy Watkins for a big play downfield. It's going to put them at the 25-yard line, still down 17-0. With just less than 4 minutes. Now he comes out, same formation, does a screen over to Watkins that is quickly blown up. So that's going to leave them at a 2nd and 5. I say quickly blown up, but I guess somehow Watkins did turn up more than I expected to. So now he's got Watkins over in motion. He's going to snap the ball as soon as Watkins is still in motion. He feeds it over to him on kind of a trick play. Watkins eludes one defender, gets down close to the first down marker at the 15. I'm trying to see why Hill is not in on some of these plays. I don't know that I've seen Hill coming out for the second half. Now I can see that he is on the field spread far to the left. They do another draw play. So with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, now you have Damian Williams on the ground, probably exhausted from running draws, but holding his hip. And we're going to break away after we see an injury. And it looks like Williams is now limping off the field, and they're showing a close-up of his feet as he walks off under the care of 2 very elderly trainers. Okay, so here we go. 2nd and 10, 2 minutes, 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Kansas City trailing 17-0, drops back off a play action, almost have a sack, but instead they get the ball over to a wide open tight end, number 88, his first career touchdown reception. That is going to be Wells. I really didn't get to see what happened. I clearly didn't have enough defenders back there, but I can tell you the problem by looking at the replay is number 50 goes into an animation where he's literally running in mud instead of trying to get close to pursue or deflect the pass. And I don't know why he would be in a running man situation. That the extra point is nearly blocked by Butker. So it's going to be 7-17 now, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third quarter. I guess at this point, I've really been able to keep their offense in check. Their offense in check. The only thing I really need to do at this point is kind of run some clock out. If I could get down and score a field goal, I feel like I would be in great position. LeGarrette Blount is coming out. They show him today, 0 rushes, 0 yards, 0.0 yards per carry. Kind of one of those details, you notice that when it's happening. And even though they just showed LeGarrette Blount, he's not even the one that's on the field. And the reason he's had all that lack of success is he hasn't been really my running back all that much. I've been using Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware, obviously, he was a little irritated by the fact that they didn't show him come out with his 5 yards after contact. He breaks off a rather large run. He now has 71 yards on the day. So, again, these are little things that when you're playing the game, you notice them, and they're a little bit of an irritant. Why are you showing my backup running back come on the field with his stats that are non-existent, and then he's not even starting for me? Go ahead and do a play action here, throw it underneath. There's a flag down. Ebron catches it. I'm in a massive tackle animation being drug upfield for about 5 yards. Let's see what the penalty is. I'm sure it's an illegal man downfield since it was an RPO, and it is. An illegal man downfield. 5-yard penalty is going to set me back. We go to a cutscene where clearly Clint Oldenburg has inserted himself on the sidelines as one of the alternate players behind one of the coaches. We're going to be now 2 minutes to go as I snap the ball. We're going to be looking at a levels formation here, and I'm going to try to get the ball underneath to Devin Funchess. Funchess comes clear, has a linebacker to beat, turns upfield, gets to the 50-yard line. That's going to leave us probably a manageable 2nd and 8. It's telling me to go right back to the RPO. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to run the bench switch and try to look for Doyle underneath or Hilton on the outside. They've got all their linebackers down to the line of scrimmage. They bring a full blitz. I throw the ball to Doyle. That is the worst defense animation I've ever seen in my entire life. I have to go back and look at this. It's horrible that I can't do breakdowns on these. So Doyle gets a clean release. At the end of the break, I throw it to him. They have number 32, which is Tyrann Mathieu. If you don't know who that is, Tyrann Mathieu is a Pro Bowl player. He is trying to cover Jack Doyle. He literally goes into animation where he goes completely through him. His hands are completely through Jack Doyle's chest, trying to intercept the pass. Then, because he doesn't intercept it, he literally stands there. He stands still like he's paralyzed and then waits for the safety, Quinn, to come over and kind of upend Jack Doyle. How? Why? When does that happen? But it does. I apologize if I didn't already. I know the audio quality is horrible in this room, but I have my big screen out here. This game is beautiful in 4K for those of you who don't know, so I wasn't going to degrade my experience by playing it on like a 50-inch TV. So come out here. We're going to do, again, levels concept. Going to try to go with TY deep, but I don't think it's going to be there. TY's been shut down today. And again, he is go up underneath Spencer Ware down to the 35-yard line. 1 minute 23 seconds left in the third quarter as the Colts are driving downfield. This is exactly, honestly, game planning wise, how I wanted to handle this. Actually, they're going to call that the 41-yard line, but all right, why am I going to challenge it again? We know how that went the first time. Going to run Spencer Ware inside, play gets blown up. Puts me at the 41-yard line. Still, here we are, 2nd and 11. I feel like at this point I have to go for a pass if I could get some type of crosser across the field. I'm going to do this mesh spot play. They've got one safety back now, so Hilton is going to be by himself if he can get across, but I don't think I'm going to have that kind of time, and I don't. Instead, I get the ball over the middle of the field to Doyle on a curl. Doyle is then met by 4 different Kansas City Chiefs, but not before he gets down to the 21-yard line with 20 seconds left to go. First down for the Colts, easily in field goal range. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let the clock run out on the third quarter. We'll start the fourth quarter with a draw play to Ware. I just have to wait till we get there. There is the end of the quarter. Everybody relaxes out of their stance. The EA Sports logo spins around. They go and show a aerial to stadium that is still packed despite a 17-7 score. Everyone seems very cheerful about this, even though I'm sure in real life they would be infuriated. And it's obviously a sellout crowd because who doesn't, come to see the Colts and the Chiefs play? So, drive goal, milestone, Jack Doyle get his 10th receiving touchdown. It's kind of been there all game. We're kind of coming out with a screen pass to Ware. This is going to be really successful, but it's not because T.Y. Hilton doesn't block downfield. Instead, he turns around and stands there and watches Ware get met by 2 different Kansas City Chief defenders. It's going to lead to a 2nd and 8. That play has been handled this way in this game for at least the past 4 years. Going to go back to a curl and see if we can't get just a little bit of movement downfield, but there's a sack, there's a fumble. Anthony Costanzo is going to pick the ball up and waddle down the field. Now there's a penalty for a face mask, and it looks like it's against the Chiefs. So I can accept that 1st and 10 on the 15 or decline it, 3rd and 19 on the 30. It's a face mask against Darren Lee. I don't know when that could have happened because he was not the one back there that was actually sacking Luck. But regardless, it really puts the Chiefs in a worse position now because I'm even further downfield. It's 1st down. The clock is still running. So I'm going to let this get down to the 5-minute mark before we run a slant. And I'm going to try to connect to Jack Doyle. Snap the ball. They've got their linebacker staying back. They bring a blitz again. Pressure is really good. I'm rolling out of the pocket. Safety comes down to try to get Luck. I'm able to avoid the safety with Andrew Luck, even without an X factor. Unbelievable. Turn the ball upfield. That's going to set up a 2nd and 7. And then I'm just going to keep it safe and stay on the ground here for these next few plays. Spencer Ware running to the inside. Breaks to the outside. There is no one out there. I'm getting caught from behind. Matthew isn't able to stop me, but he forces me out of bounds at the 1-yard line. I was trying to dive, but I guess the game didn't have a dive animation for that sequence. So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1. Let's go back and see if the halfback split can work. If not, I know that running the ball in with Ebron is a real possibility. They're down at the goal line, have everybody stacked up. It is a mess of animations as the ball snaps. Blunt is now in, presumably because it's a 3rd down, or presumably because it's goal line formation. He would be my goal and 3rd down back. He falls right at the 1-yard line. We come out now 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, 2nd and goal. I'm going to run the exact same play and see if they react. They don't. They come down, and LeGarrette Blount is kind of able to back into the end zone, even though he was initially met by a defensive lineman. Not one player on that line tried to reach out and stop me. I ended up going into this kind of crazy spin once I got in contact with Lee, and it kind of just shuffled me back into the end zone. But in real life, I feel like a defensive lineman would have been reaching out there to kind of either push me back or stall my progress. Extra point is done 24-7 now, 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game as Adam Vinatieri kicks off to Ellington, and see if the Chiefs are able to put together some type of miracle. Not only do they need a miracle in terms of points, they really need a miracle in terms of time. Because if I get the ball back, I think just once more, depending on how long this drive takes, I can end this game. They come out with 2 receivers split to the right, single back, drops back, pressure coming, throws on the run, complete pass out. It's the dead-eye accurate. I'm not going to complain too much about it, only because he hasn't been successful this game. But if he had been, that's a play that's just seemingly unstoppable. I will say people had complained about the wear of the jerseys. It's very noticeable that I've gotten to Mahomes a bunch of times as the back of his jersey is all stained green, the same way every player is stained green. That's been tackled a lot today. They are going to go ahead and do yet another draw play. This is their backup running back, number 30. He gets a 1st down, but not by much. It's going to leave them 2 minutes and 43 seconds. There is absolutely no urgency. If this was a real game, you would have commentators screaming. There is no urgency from the Chiefs to try to get the ball downfield. They're now actually calling an audible at the line while the clock ticks down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They snap the ball. The lineman inverse on the right-hand side. They get the ball out to the tight end underneath, makes no attempt to get it out of bounds. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. They're going to set up a 2nd and 2. They are not running the no huddle like they were earlier in the game, which is surprising. We're down to the 2-minute warning. So they apparently are content with just letting the game go. Or this is the most accurate representation of Andy Reid clock management you can imagine in a game, and EA is the most accurate simulated sport of all time, but I think it's probably not that case. They run curls there. I'm just playing back in a zone here, so they're probably going to tear up and dink and dunk a little bit. They get down the field there to the 47-yard line. Now I'm bringing pressure on Mahomes, but he's able to get the ball off. Watkins catches the ball in the open field, turns upfield after a missed tackle, gets down to the 25-yard line, right on the 100 years logo on the left-hand side of the field. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. Throws underneath. Darius Leonard makes a break on the pass and breaks it up with his helmet before it can get over to the receiver. Did a good job there moving over. His X factor initiated when the ball came into play. It's now going to be 2nd and 10 with 1:12 left. Trips to the right-hand side. They're running Kelsey over on a bubble. Kelsey's going to be wide open, catches the ball, tries to come over, gets caught up by Pierre Desir, who knocks him out at the 21-yard line. So now it's going to be 3rd and 5, crucial 3rd down. Kelsey is wide open. Instead, they don't go for it, and they force the ball back to Hill, rather. Every time I see a Chief and they make an eccentric move, I think of Dante Hall. So hope you're doing well there, Dante. The human joystick, the first one, the originator. Long before Tyreek Hill, who catches a touchdown here in the corner of the end zone. But go back, take a look at it, just because the animation looked a little bit weird. From the defensive standpoint, I believe that I had both my safety and cornerback there. At least they should have been. When I go back and look, it looks like my corner bails out and leaves Wilson by himself. Wilson, for some reason, turns his back to the line of scrimmage, lets Hill go up uncontested, but then Hill actually floats back in the air to go into kind of a high point animation. So, yeah, that's why it looked weird. He shifted in the air to get to a position where he could catch it. The ball was not placed well at all for him to get it in that position. So, obviously an animation issue, but that's the 2nd time now that I've seen kind of the sliding in the air to allow a receiver to catch a pass that otherwise they would not have been able to. Regardless, the end result is still a 10-point lead with 48 seconds left. I'll see if they're going to do an onside kick. They are. I'm going to go and have my hands team, if you will, up at the line here. Easily fielded, though, uncontested. 46 seconds left. Andy Reid looking like a straight walrus on the sidelines that's not happy with anything. We're going to run this clock out. They've got 3 timeouts, but Spencer Ware don't care. He is looking for revenge, I suppose. He gets out there, 43-yard line, 2-yard gain. They call a timeout right away, 42 seconds. We're going to go ahead and just continue to run this clock out and hopefully get out of here with a win that I really thought would not happen, to be honest with you. As far as this game is concerned, I can tell you, having played the Raiders, I don't see or feel any difference playing the Chiefs as opposed to the Raiders. Antonio Brown didn't really bring anything where I had to alter my game plan. Certainly didn't have a whole lot of scrambling, as you heard from Pat Mahomes. I pick up the 1st down here, and they are going to go ahead and call their 2nd timeout, but at this point, it's just semantics. There's 38 seconds left in the game, 43 seconds left on the game clock. They can call their final 2 timeouts all they want, and I'll still have an opportunity to knee it. Instead, I'm going to run the ball with Spencer Ware. Not one player is going for a strip. I just want to point out as well, all these tackles are being done at the line of scrimmage, basically, and no one's trying to sell out. Bring in Andrew Luck and LeGarrette Blount to take a knee here. They have no more timeouts. There is a 20-second difference in the game clock, 8-second difference, rather, in the game clock to the play clock. So the win game possession has came up. Control the ball for 30 to gain XP. I guess they want me to control the ball for 30 seconds. That's very poorly worded. So I'm easily going to do that. The clock is going to run out here. I don't even need to hit another play. I guess I'll come out and line up for semantics of it all. 9 seconds left, 3rd and 10. We'll go ahead and take one final knee, and that will be the end of this one. Everyone gets the XP bonus. Luck runs off with the ball. Everyone in the stadium sits down at the same time, conveniently enough. Andy Reid, who looks like he's lost a good bit of weight, now looks like he's finally accepted the inevitable over the past 2.5 quarters, is that the Chiefs are going to lose. We look at some screenshots of the game. I appreciate you guys checking this out. I'm going to do maybe 1, maybe 2 more of these, and I will be back very shortly with more commentary.